Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mordecai the Hunter, and I'm here to help you shoot better at cowboy action by showing you what I did on purpose and what wasn't on purpose so that we can learn together. Today we'll be going over stages from the Arkansas State Championship, shooting in the shade with the Mountain Valley Vigilantes near Hot Springs, Arkansas. This is my first big match out of town, and I was a little nervous for a variety of reasons, but between the shoot, the entertainment, and meeting a bunch of new friends, I had a fantastic weekend and I can't wait to come back. This club did an excellent job putting on a fun and challenging shoot, and you can really tell that a lot of love has been put into the stages by the locals. So if you've never been before, be sure to check them out. Anyway, let's take a look at some stages.
Alrighty, starting with stage 1 at the depot, we have 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on shelf 1, and 4+ shotgun on shelf 2. Target order is pistol, rifle, shotgun, starting with hands at low surrender. At the beep, with pistols, engage the targets as follows: 1 1, 2 3 4, 5 5, 4 3 2, starting from either end. Rifle same as pistol, and engage the shotgun until down. So it's kind of a Nevada sweep, but with double tapping the outside targets. So at least the split in the pistols isn't too crazy. Let's see what happened.
After all that, you missed!
Stand by! Excellent. 1960. 1960 and wait.
Alrighty, so not too bad for the first stage. I'm pretty nervous at this point, and the targets look smaller than I'm used to, but my normal strategy is to slow down and really be deliberate on stage 1 anyway. Now, I have been known to double tap and slip hammer when I'm really trying to push my speed, but here I'm focused on making sure I have a good sight picture and I'm pulling the trigger for each shot. Now, the first pistol transition is good, but the first shot of the second pistol is actually an AD, and you can see me readjust before taking the second shot. This was a bit of a wake-up call for me since I've gotten kind of lazy about bringing the pistol up into my line of sight before pushing out. I have the basic movement here, but I should really be bringing it up even higher, and if I was really good, I could be firing before I was fully extended. This method also applies to semi-auto pistols, so there are plenty of professional videos out there you can search if you want a breakdown. Anyway, I felt like I was moving through the molasses on the stage, so I was shocked when I heard the final time came out to 1960. It's not as fast as I would like to run, but you can't shoot fast enough to make up a miss, and I felt like it was still competitive. Moving on to stage 2 at the train, we have 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on the shelf of the passenger car, and 4+ shotgun in the cattle car. Gun order is pistol, rifle, shotgun, starting behind the shelf in the coal car with hands on guns. At the beep, engage the top row of the pistol targets in a 2-3-2 sweep, and then engage the bottom row targets 1 time each. Rifle same instructions, and then engage shotgun until down. Let's see how it went.
Engine 5, track 6.
Stand by. $20.80. 2080. Clean.
Alrighty, so solid stage. My biggest regret here is that I probably could have picked up the pace a little. We've made it past stage 1, the targets are larger, and the pattern isn't too complicated, so I don't have a lot of excuses here aside from me being nervous and desperately wanting to shoot clean. Shooting faster in competition is a measured risk. You can't shoot fast enough to make up for a miss, but you don't want to hold yourself back too much either, and I really feel like I could have peeled some seconds off my final time. I did notice that I missed the pistol hammer as I was presenting, though it didn't seem to slow me down any. I also had a rifle hitch, which I think is just me getting sloppy with my wrist movement. I was probably more focused on the pattern than how I was working my rifle, so hopefully muscle memory will help me out there at some point. Anyway, a final time of 2080 isn't bad, I just know that if I'd been more confident, I could have shot it faster. Stage 3 at the barbershop, we have 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on shelf 1, and 4+ shotgun on shelf 2. Starting with at least 1 foot behind the shelf and both hands on hat, the gun order is shooter's choice, rifle not last. At the beep, engage the targets in the following order: 2-2, 1-3-2, and then repeat. Let's see how it went.
Shoot first, shoot later, shoot some more!
Stand by. 8-9-6 clean.
Okay, back to tiny targets. I'll admit it could be that they just look smaller due to being outlined in black. Locals claim that they did that so that the rifle targets were easier to see against the creek bed, and I do like how they focus the eye on the center, so I may just need to be aware of that perception when I'm shooting and not be so afraid of missing. I chose to go with the rifle first so that I could be putting it down while drawing my cross-draw pistol. I usually prefer to start with the rifle anyway, since I can be focused on the trigger guard when the timer goes off, and honestly, I was a little worried about the pattern. It splits nicely for the pistols, but with the rifle, you have to remember to put 3 rounds on the middle target in the middle of the string. This way, I get that done first, and then it's all downhill from there. I have plenty of time to holster my strong side pistol as I'm running to the shotgun, and my left hand is free to grab shotgun shells, so it all kind of works out perfectly. This stage still felt pretty slow in the moment, but it was actually my fastest stage, with a final time of 18:96. Stage 4 at the bank, we have 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on shelf 2, and 4 plus shotgun on shelf 2. Gun order is pistol, rifle, shotgun, starting behind shelf 1 or 3. At the beep, starting on either end, sweep the 4 targets and then triple tap the 2 inside targets. Rifle same as pistol, engage shotgun until down. Nothing too crazy, let's see how it went.
Bring a kilogram of gold to Spider Canyon.
Stand by.
Okay, so on this stage we have the choice to start on either the left or the right targets and then move to the center. It's generally easier for right-handed people to run to the right because of their shooting stance, and I'm no exception to that rule. So if I get the choice, I will always go from left to right unless there's some kind of major advantage to reversing that. Pistol targets are still looking pretty tiny, but again, that may be the black border or me just trying to be too careful. There is lots of room between those rifle targets, so you can see me slow way down to make sure I get a sight picture. I was talking with gunfighter Let's Go that afternoon, and he suggested moving the rifle in a U-shape as you're transitioning between the targets. I like the concept, so I'm going to do some deliberate practicing and we'll see how it goes. For the shotgun, I've started using more fingers on the back of the shells to help them along into the chambers, and I think it's working, which is a good thing because I have a makeup here. I must not have brought the barrel down far enough and shot over the top of it or something. Bummer. Anyway, even with the shotgun makeup, I still ended up with a final time of 20:38. Alright, last stage of day 1 is at the saloon with 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on shelf 2, and 4 plus shotgun on shelf 3. The order is rifle first, then shooter's choice, starting behind shelf 2 and touching the saloon girl. At the beep, triple tap the middle target, then single tap the other 4 targets, then triple tap the center again. Pistol same as rifle instructions, and engage the shotgun until down. Seems easy enough. Let's see what happened.
What kind of lady are you?
Stand by.
Okay, so touching the saloon girl's elbow put me in a good spot where I could start leaned over the rifle. From this position, I can see the trigger guard and drop my hand straight down onto the gun. From there, I'm already in a good shooting position so I can bring it up like normal and get to work. Lots of movement between the 4 little targets, so I really had to slow down to aim at those. Moving to the left here by stepping backwards with my right foot keeps my body angled so I can grab my cross-draw pistol. The instructions didn't say you had to sweep the 4 targets, so shooting the 2 on the right and then coming back to the left with the second pistol worked out great. Now that I think about it, I probably should have done that with my rifle. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I've resisted the whole mop your chambers after every stage with ballistol thing, but now I'm remembering a stuck hole from a previous review and it's now bitten me at a big match, so I guess I'll add one to my kit. Even with the makeup, my final time was a 20:80, so it's still a pretty good end to the first day. Okay, day 2, starting off at the jail. 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifles staged on the left shelf, and 2 plus shotgun on the right shelf. The gun order is shooter's choice, rifle not last, and starting behind the shelf of choice with 1 finger pointed at the toolkit. At the beep, engage each target twice. No double taps. And that's it. Super simple, right? Let's see what happened.
Get at my toolkit!
Stand by.
2095, clean.
Okay, so this stage was talked about a lot at the shoot, and I saw these targets engaged in probably 10 different ways just on one posse. There are a few things to consider when looking at stacked targets like this. A big thing is that you want to be able to see the next target you're going to transition to, so ideally you want to start at the bottom and move up. The next thing to consider is trying to reduce muzzle movement, since movement is time, and then probably most important is making sure you keep everything straight in your mind so you don't get lost or even worse, slapped with a 10-second procedural penalty. I chose to start with the pistols so I didn't have to backtrack, and ended up going with a Z pattern, starting on the lower left. The rifle I actually shot with a different pattern where I basically swept the bottom 3 targets and then moved to the top 2 targets, and honestly, if I was doing it again, I would do that with the pistols too. I hadn't planned on doing different patterns, it just kinda happened when my adrenaline brain took over. Anyway, my final time was 20.95 and I'm still clean, so 1 stage down, 4 more to go, let's move on. Okay, stage 7 at the mercantile with 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on shelf 2, and 4 plus shotgun. Starting position is behind shelf 1 or 3 with shotgun in both hands, and the order is starting and ending with shotgun. At the beep, engage the 2 shotgun targets until down, then move to the center table and engage the rifle targets in a triple tap sweep with the last shot on the middle target. Pistol same as rifle, and then engage the remaining 2 shotgun targets until down. Let's see how it went.
I'm the master of mechanical stuff.
Stand by. Good one. 1984. 1984 and none.
Okay, so in the past, I would start a stage like this looking at the shells in my belt, which I thought would help, but was really just causing a lot of false starts. After an epiphany last week, I decided to start stages like this focused on the top of my shotgun barrels and rely on muscle memory to grab the shells. Now, I know I'm not supposed to be experimenting in a big match, but I knew I could start over if it didn't work, and as you can see, it did. So from now on, I will start shotgun and hand stages by looking at the barrels. The next big win was getting to use that shotgun to rifle transition that we learned about a few weeks back. I was really thankful that I'd run into that ahead of time so I knew what to do. Even though this is the first time I've done it on the clock, I think it went pretty smoothly. If I could do this again, I wonder if shooting my pistols first might have been better. If my eyes are focused on the shotgun placement, I can lean on muscle memory for pulling the first pistol, and then again when reholstering the second pistol as I'm looking for the trigger guard of the rifle. Then I can combine the movement of discarding the rifle and picking up the shotgun. It might not have made a big difference, but I think it would have flowed a little better, and a half second here or there adds up, so I like to think about stuff like this. Anyway, this was another stage I feel like I could have run a little faster since the targets were bigger, but a 1984 is still pretty good, so let's move on. Okay, stage 8 at the whatever. 10 pistol holster, 10 rifle on shelf 2, and 4 plus shotgun on shelf 3. Shooting order is rifle first, then shooter's choice, starting behind shelf 2 with your hands touching the shelf. At the beep, engage the square target 1 time, then double tap the diamonds, then engage the square target 1 time. Pistol same as rifle instructions, and with the shotgun, knock them down. So let's see what happened.
She's a breath of fresh air.
Stand by.
Good run.
So, rereading this stage, I keep wondering why anyone would go to the shotgun first after the rifle. The instructions don't say you have to be behind the third shelf to engage the shotgun targets, so I guess you could be edging back towards the pistols in between pairs. Might also make sense if you're left-handed, you can be shucking as you run back to the pistols, but you'd still risk a stuck shell. Anyway, if you can think of a compelling argument, let me know in the comments. For me, it made the most sense to go to the pistols second. Now, moving to the left is a little more complicated with a cross-draw holster because of the angle, so rather than turning to my left here, I take a step backwards with my right leg so that my body stays angled to the right and I can draw my pistol as I'm stepping. I also take advantage of the fact that this is a round count stage to reduce the movement between targets, so instead of swinging my pistol all the way to the far left target, I drop down to 3 and 4 for the first pistol and then double tapped 1 and 2 on the second pistol. After that, I have plenty of time to holster and grab my shotgun shells on the way to the shotgun. That left me with a final time of 20.87, not too bad. Okay, stage 9, we have 10 pistol holstered, 10 rifle on the table between wagons, and 6 plus shotgun in either wagon. Order is rifle, pistol, shotgun, starting beside the wagon with both hands touching the box. At the beep, engage the rifle targets in the following order: 1 4 2 3, 1 4 2 3, 1 4. Pistol same as rifle, and then knock down the shotgun targets. 2 shotgun targets must be engaged from the middle and from each wagon. Makeups from any position. Oh boy, let's see what happens.
This is not the way you transport nitro.
Stand by. Got two up. Excellent. 3405. 3405. That's the way to do it.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this was a really hard stage for me. The pattern does not split nicely for the pistols, and you have to shoot the rifle first, so plenty of time to forget it. On top of that, I'm still clean, so far. So I repeated this in my head for about 10 minutes, watching the other shooters, and the whole time at the loading table. I ran this stage painfully slow, and then had shotgun makeups. So yeah, I was pretty embarrassed about the final time being over 34 seconds. I do seem to be shooting a little high with my shotgun, so at least that's something I can work on, though shooting cheap shells with a lot of recoil probably isn't doing me any favors. Anyway, I don't think I have anything super constructive on this one, so let's go ahead and just move on. Final stage, we made it at Adobe Wall, starting with 10 pistol holstered or staged in the right window, 10 rifle staged in the left window, and 2 plus shotgun. Shooting order is rifle, pistol, shotgun, and starting with both hands touching the staged rifle. At the beep, alternate between the red and white targets. Pistol, same instructions, and shotgun, knock them down. Let's see how it went.
That's a man's head.
Stand by.
Three.
Number 3. 2587. 2587. That was a clean match.
Woo!
2587.
Thank goodness.
Alrighty, so for this stage, I remember talking to Let's Go, and he suggested kneeling to start this stage. By getting lower to the ground, it actually lines the targets up a little better, so you don't have to move the rifle as much as you're switching between the targets. Unfortunately for me, and probably a lot of other cowboys, it's not super comfortable to kneel in your rig. And when I tried it earlier, I wasn't super quick getting up, so I did not take advantage of that advice. But if you're spry, that might have been a great tip to help you shoot this a little faster. I chose not to stage my pistols because I wanted to be able to draw as I was moving to the window. I'm not a huge fan of picking up my pistols from the table. I have way more muscle memory drawing them from leather, so if I have a choice, I'll always draw and holster them. I guess I used up all my brains on the previous stage because I totally forgot where I was after switching pistols. Nothing worse than having a miss or a P on the final stage of a match. Fortunately, the peanut gallery was paying attention and helped me out a little here. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the cowboy action community. People are competitive, but no one's really malicious. Anyway, I can't say I finished in a blaze of glory with a final time of 25:87, but I could finally celebrate my clean match and relax a little. So at the end of the day, I managed to squeak out first in the cowboy category by less than a second, and third place overall. Looks like I have some catching up to do on those gunfighters, though. There were a few stages where I feel like it would have been worth the risk to pick up the pace a little and shave some seconds off my final time. If I hadn't been so hung up on shooting clean, I might have been more willing to take advantage of some of those opportunities. It's frustrating to know that you could have done better, but I also know I would have beaten myself up over a miss, especially if it had been on the last stage. Making reviews like this has really helped me to think critically about how I approach the game, and it also gives me an opportunity to consolidate tips and advice I receive from the folks I shoot with. So a big thanks to everyone who is willing to talk strategy and share their wisdom with me so that I can return the favor and share it with the community. I'd also like to give a big shout out to the folks who held the camera for me. It's a tremendous help for me to be able to review videos so that I can improve, and of course makes these little chats possible. So thanks y'all, and thanks again to the Mountain Valley Vigilantes for putting on a fabulous shoot, and Posse One for putting up with me in general. Cowboy Action is the best community of folks around, and if you're not a part of it, you can be. Just go to sassnet.com/clubs, find a club nearby, and go to a match. No experience required, no strings, to show up. Promise you'll have a good time. Whew, boy, that went long, didn't it? That's all I have for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. See y'all on the range.